hate when they do that profile thing at the beginning and they read out all the blah, blah, blah. Because it's not who I am, it's what I do. And who I am in this moment is terrified. And I mean, I've been speaking a lot for a living. I hustle, and I shimmy, and I am the bee in every CEO's ear. So I don't know why I'm terrified, but I'm going to own it, because the one thing that we didn't see about collaboration is it requires us to be vulnerable. It requires us to get it wrong. It requires us to turn up and make those weird farce noises even if we feel like a fool. So I'm a bit like Dan Siegel, I only speak when I feel. So I need to tell you I'm vulnerable for two reasons, and I didn't realize how much until, whoa, I'm here. The last time I spoke in Sweden was the day before my father died in 2016. And I have to say, I have watched that film as I was coming in here today. And I just want to say there's something about this country. I love Scandinavian design. I actually love Scandinavian people. Actually, I like a lot about Sweden. But I remember the heart of the audience who held me. Now, we didn't know it was going to be less than 24 hours later. But I remember wanting to come because I didn't want to let the conference down. And I was really, my heart was broken. So Dad, I came back. I came back to this beautiful country, and I'm so glad I did it then because it was part of why I'm even here now. But the second reason that I'm really nervous is I have a tattoo on my right wrist, and it says truth. And I got it on the 28th of May of this year. And I have not spoken on a stage since I got this tattoo. And there's a big story which will come out about why, but I promised that I would never do anything but tell the truth again. So bear with me. And I'm here, and with all my shaky voice in my ludicrous green suit, so I'm just doing an audio description. 7,000 people out there in the woohoo internet land. I'm going to do audio description. I'm wearing a green gingham suit. I'm Irish. I'm a 51-year-old, nearly to be 52-year-old white woman with very white blonde hair, menopausal, sticky mouth, blue eyes, and very black glasses. I just have to have a quick look and see how many minutes I have left. Okay, that's it. Right, so the thing is, I am obsessed with collaboration. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I want you to see here, there is this screen, for those of you who might not be able to see, with like loads of dots moving around together. The energy and magnificence of collective action. It kind of reminds me of stars in the sky, bioluminescence. Do you know bioluminescence? When you go to sea and you shake the sea and you see the electricity come up. It's the magic of a murmuration. When we see birds flying in these most amazing formations in the sky, in that sort of nearly hidden intelligence, or the place to go, it's magical. Everything we've been talking about today, actually, collaboration is part of it all. I have loved the exercise. How did it take us so long to have such a fantastic conference? I mean, honest to goodness, the speaking, the acting, the noises, the banging of the feet, all of it, because that's what we want. We yearn to participate. We yearn to contribute. We yearn to be seen and heard as ourselves, our unique selves, and yet collectively to come together. I'm obsessed with collaboration because there is no way on earth the scale of the problems that face us today will ever be resolved if we do not lay down our egos. And if we do not find the sadness and pain is a point of beauty and exploration. If we do not understand as human beings we're jealous and we compare. We do. But we are not broken, as I was said before. We are not. Disability has been my passion for so long. For 23 years, I'm a hustler, an activist, a shit kicker, the whole things that you do with it. I have been doing this obsessively. The pandemic of disability exclusion is extraordinary in the world. It is extraordinary. 1.3 billion people with a father and mother, 54% of our global economy. It's enormous. And I have worked and given my life after I came off that elephant, who was the greatest teacher in the world. And this is what I have chosen to do. I fundamentally believe that business and CEOs, and I know we had a CEO speaking earlier on, and he said, oh, governments have more money. No, they don't. No, they don't. I don't mean to be rude, but we were listening to when two CEOs were thinking of going into a cage and having a wrestling match a little while ago. Their combined wealth was that of 46 countries or something insane. Business for me is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. What it includes in value, society will include in value. Because it's made of customers and employees and entrepreneurs and innovators. Yeah, business is humans, weirdly. And I thought that we're never going to end the disability crisis unless we had business meaningfully at the table. But very strangely, for a very long time, disability was on the sidelines. Yeah, they did a bit of gender, and yeah, they did a bit of race, and yeah, they did a bit of LGBTQIA, but disability. You see, for me, inclusion is all for everyone or not at all. You can't have a la carte inclusion. You can't say today I'm going to do gender and I might do disability somewhere else. So how do you change it? Because nobody's bad. I simply do not believe that, and I'm going to operate off this principle. Well, the only way that I know how we can do it is to get the leaders at the top. Inclusive business creates inclusive society. Inclusive leaders create inclusive business. The choices a leader makes creates the culture. And then I believe, well, you couldn't just get one. We needed a shitload, loads of them. And then we also need to bring our heads and our hearts and imagination activism. Phoebe, who's my new crush. You needed to have possibility thinking. I mean, Phoebe, I don't know where you are, but I love you. So anyway, the whole idea was, can you believe before we launched the Valuable 500, not one CEO in the whole world, not one, had ever spoken about disability on a public stage? Ever? That was true. So we got to change that. And so, I can't believe this, but on May the 18th, in 2021, 2 years and 4 months after I stood on the main stage of the World Economic Forum in Davos, I didn't want the inspirational stage, do not need to be inspiring. We have now built the biggest global collaboration in business in the world. We have 500 of the world's biggest brands, 22 million employees, 23 trillion in market cap. And the only way you could come into the Valuable 500 if the CEO personally took account for the inclusion journey. Woo. And they did. Mind you, I had to ask 2,500 to get 500, but we got there. And they did. And everybody else, so we broke the CEO silence. And now we're doing this collective, synchronized collective action, activating them together in the same time, the same way, against the same goals. Because harmonized collaboration, harmonized collective action, it's a contagion you just can't even avoid. And people keep saying to me, how on earth did you do it? How did you get all those names? Nobody wants a disability. Well, I told you I'd tell the truth. Look, I can give you the business case, and I can give you all the other kind of mechanisms we used, which we did many. I have to remortgage my home to make it happen. the truth was a broken heart.
Wow.
No, because don't feel sad, because a broken heart and a need to feel that I was worth something, that I would be worth something if I made change, and the death of my father. That grief drove hard. But what was so interesting is, it's the first time in my life I stopped trying to be perfect. I stood on these stages roaring from the inside of my soul, saying, enough! And something about the grief of Dad and the journey that we go through in self-acceptance that every single one of you is feeling right now. Yeah? That was the magic. It filtered, it was just like a smell. And it brought people together. Because it wasn't just the business case and the spending power on the inside and all the stuff that I can tell you about disability. It was the connection to every single CEO, was a mother, a father, a lover, an uncle and aunt, a husband, a wife, a daughter. And when you ever get the chance to be with a 3-year-old and you look them, you hold your eyes right in them, and my hands on your shoulders, and you want to say to them, you're perfect, just the way you are. How many of you were parents? I can't see what you've just done, because I'm blind. The reason I care is because I have ocular albinism. I can only see 1.5 feet, and I'm registered blind. But you don't need to be blind to believe that every child should have the same chance to be their beautiful, unique selves in the world, do you? No. The thing is, for your children, the world isn't designed for difference. But I know we can change it, because the change is happening. You can feel it. You can feel it. Like you hear this, all of us, for the 7,000 out there, for the dances that we've done, for the hugs that we've given, for our demand not to be self, but to be we, wherever he is, we're me. We might have to come up with a different word, that's really hard to say. But I do get you, Dan. I also have a crush on you. But I care. I'm here as a human activist for inclusion. It is either all for everyone or not at all. You can't have inclusion right. And the thing about this inner development goal, oh my gosh, we all knew it. We know that's the power of every single one of you that makes that change. You don't have to stand on this stage. You don't need to be Richard Branson. It's use your voice and use your energy. What's very unusual about my story, however, the reason I look like I can see so much is I was born in 1971 and my parents decided not to tell me. So I grew up with a vision impairment until I was 17 years old, thinking I saw like the rest of the world. And then I hid it for 11 years and got into Accenture. Not sure what that says about management consultancy. As I look down here, I think I got 50 seconds left. So I'm going to say the few things I want to leave with you. If you want to collaborate, the truth about collaboration is bring your vulnerability, don't always be right. How's right working out for you? My God. Anybody else. Do not make an assumption about how they are, how they feel. You have absolutely no idea. If you want to collaborate, the most important thing is find that time and that space and that journey to love yourself. You're beautiful, magnificent, faulted, cracked, everything self. And in that, I leave you with the very last thing. If you want to collaborate, get the hell out of the way if you don't agree, or make space for others. That is collaboration. I now ask you to do with me the greatest act of collaboration, as we did on the way in, I'm going to ask you all to stand up if you can stand. House lights, anyone? Bueller, house lights? Okay, excellent. Now, because I'm visually impaired, take out your phones. You know, we've seen this being done a million times before, but this is my thing. I did it, I got through the 15 minutes. Put on the torch. I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do this, and I never had the courage. Because for me, is to say, we are all that sky full of stars. You see, every single one of us, we light it up. Not one CEO, not one person, not one great comedian, but each and every one of us. So for collaboration, bring your light, bring that heart, bring that voice, and please can we put on the song that I can dance off to, and if you don't do it, where's my song? Because it's so hard. But it's the thing that my dad said to me before he died. Be yourself because everyone else is taken.